Hey, what's going on, guys? Obillwankenobi here. In today's video, we are talking about how there may be an issue with one of the best attachments in the game, and whether or not we think this was intentional or if the developers had just completely missed it. Alright guys, stick around, you don't want to miss out. Alright guys, so what we're talking about here is the VMC site. There's been a couple videos, people talking about how when you are toggled into the ability to zoom in like this mode, it has a drastic recoil reduction, which is a super giant benefit to almost any gun, especially some of the ARs with a higher recoil. So I came across this while doing some testing on a different weapon to see about a review on that. But we just wanted to kind of show you what we're talking about here. So this is the VMC site zoomed out. So there's a little bit of our recoil pattern. It has no other attachments. So now when we zoom in, I don't know about you, but that is a huge reduction. I mean, that almost, the K-bar is almost now like an NV4 when you're fully zoomed in on that. So phenomenal attachment, right? So what I'm talking about is I went to do some testing with the OSA after unlocking it and wanted to do a review on that, and then wanted to apply this sight to see on how well it did with that gun, because it has some vertical recoil with the high fire rate. So with doing that, I'm going to show you what we found. All right, guys, so I have the OSA, and here I have it with just like a normal ELO sight on it. As you can see in the lower right-hand corner, you can see hold triangle to toggle. That's normally what you would toggle the VMC sight with, but this is a multi-mode gun with the underbarrel attachment. So that's what that toggles. But as you can see, when we switch to with the VMC, if I zoom in and go to toggle the sight, it automatically just wants to toggle the multi-mode of the gun. Now you lose the sight variation. And as you can see, it's all the way zoomed in. You don't benefit from the normal sight zoomed out. But I wanted to test and see, okay, well, maybe you still get some of that recoil reduction on that. So let's see and find out. A nice handful of vertical recoil. All right, well, let's go ahead and test it with the VMC sight. Okay, now it did reduce it. You know, that first initial spread definitely had a more concentrated area. And we'll give it one more test with this one just to see. Yeah, so I would definitely say it did a little bit of benefit to the initial burst of the gun, but certainly not what you would expect with the amount of recoil reduction that it did with the K-bar. So I was thinking, okay, well, is it just the OSA, or is this going to affect any other multi-mode guns? And I wanted to show you that also. All right, guys, so here we have the Type 2. Again, a toggling multi-mode gun holding that akimbo style. So that's fantastic. We're going to switch over to, with the VMC sight, all the way zoomed in, holding that, toggles it again. So let's say if we're all the way zoomed in on that and we toggle it, it doesn't do anything with the sight. It again toggles only the multi-mode ability of the gun. Now that being said, while we're talking about this, was this intentional? You know, was it left out on purpose on the multi-mode guns because they already have the benefit of multi-modes? The OSA with the underbarrel, this with the akimbo, the RPR Evo with the ability to toggle between SMG and AR, and they didn't want to make them too overpowered by having the recoil ability, or was this just a complete oversight on their part? Given the fact that this game was basically sent out at 60%, I gotta say I honestly believe it's probably an oversight. You're already missing so many things within the game. I have hard time believing that this was actually on purpose. But that being said, we've come up with a couple different alternatives that could possibly make this work. One that was brought up by Tracer, which is another member of Vital, was you could have the mode toggle while you're not ADS, but then while ADS, be able to toggle it with the same triangle in between the in between the sight modes. And I think that would be a great ability if we could make that work. Also, if that wasn't going to be the case, I wanted to show another gun already kind of demonstrates this ability. Alright guys, so here we have the EBR 800. Now, the VMC sight does not work on this gun. It's not a possible attachment. But the reason why I chose this to show is the fact that it is a multi-mode gun. So that, that's whether that's a benefit or not to it. But what I wanted to show on here is that you have the triangle to toggle, but while you are zoomed in with the sight, tapping circle will adjust the zoom levels. I think that that could also be a great alternative to the VMC on the guns with the multi-mode ability. Is while you're ADS, you could then toggle and toggle back out, or hold triangle to adjust your multi-mode ability. Again, just some alternative options to being able to take benefit of that sight. I mean, the sight with the recoil reduction is a phenomenal enhancement, and it's, kind of ridiculous that it was excluded from those guns. Like I said, in my opinion, it was probably an oversight. And if that wasn't actually intentional, then why wasn't it just excluded from the weapon choices? This gun, it is not included as a weapon choice as an attachment. With the other weapons, it is clearly right there as an attachment option. And the benefit of the recoil reduction really isn't that great to choose that when you can't toggle between sights when there's other sights that have a zoom in also. Just my opinion. Hopefully that's something that we can see in the near future, them catching that and giving it to us, because that would be a great option on the OSA and especially the RPR Evo. Being able to toggle between those, especially with the RPR, being that you have an SMG and an AR mode. Fantastic option there. All right, guys, please drop a like if you like this, especially if you think that they should do something about the sights. Hopefully we can get some traction on this and bring it to their attention. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out some of the other members on the channel. They will be providing some pretty excellent content. Hope you stick around for it. All right, guys, until next time, we'll see you.